listen, there's never going to be another defenseman like Nicholas Lidstrom. But Nicholas Lidstrom made it look easy. You talk to players that played against him, take the puck away from him, and you go, how did that happen, right? And he was economical but brilliant at the same time. I think Dahlin has some of those similar traits.
And he projects to be pretty big too, 6'2". He's 181 pounds now as a 17-year-old.
And I will say this, where he differs from Nicholas Lidstrom, he's delivered some big physical hits. He likes that part of the game. And, you know, playing for Finland, they were the 2016 SHL.
Now a quick steal there by the Finns and a shot taken by Pelle Räsänen. Edmonton 6th-round pick. He's turned away by Philip Larson.
But he was a regular on Finland, lost in the semifinal last year.
Now Branson is centering past Cage. He's a late 99, born in November of 1999. So the way the IHF works is by birth year. So players born in 2000 have to wear the full shield. Makes it pretty easy to pick them out. That in Dahlin's case, the skill. He stands up pretty quickly.
Yeah, he does.
Now Jaska works in for the Finns. That's poked away by Larson. And that shot taken by
team defensemen that can anchor a pair, and some defensemen that need to have that anchor-type player. I think Valimaki's an anchor-type defenseman. He can make others better.
Dahlin had that poked away, but moves it ahead to Glenn Gustafsson. Take it back across, and Elias Pettersson, a shot steered up over the glass. Now Brandstrom tries to swing that rink wide. With all the talk about Dahlin playing, Eric Brandstrom was terrific in Sweden's game against Canada.
He was, and he is a terrific defenseman.
15th overall to Vegas in their first NHL draft. Centering pass knocked down by Elias Andersson, who has 3 goals in 2 games for the Swedes. And now that shot by Westerlund goes high. Banked out there by Moylan. And now back at center ice, scooped up by Sami Moylan. Plays for Seattle in the Western League. More and more Swedish and Finnish players are coming to play in North America prior to the draft. Gabriel Landeskog, the Swede who played for Kitchener in the OHL, one of being their captain, was the Swede who really kicked that door open. The Swedes actually tried to stem that tide by telling their players if you played for North America, you wouldn't be eligible for national team. They wanted players to sign a contract to that effect, but the players as a group refused. That long shot hit Juna Kopa in the lineup for the first couple months. He wasn't selected to play for the Swedes in the World Junior Championship. He was originally being talked about, Craig, as a top 10, potentially top 5 pick of the draft. Dropped to 17 to Toronto.
And legitimately, when you watched him as a 17-year-old, you could see why you would talk about him as a top 5 talent. But a couple of things happened. I mean, obviously the year that he had, you know, couldn't really get his footing, but then other players really took strides forward that, you know, hadn't shown the same potential as Liljegren had done earlier. So we talked about a player falling, but other times it's about other players just developing and really taking off in their play.
Played Latvia in the 2-game relegation series at the World Junior Championship. Won one of the games 2-1, scoring in the 3rd period to win that one. That was the 3rd time, though, in the last 9 years that the Finns have been in the relegation side. Now, it was different previously. They used to be 4 teams go down to relegation. They've changed it down to 2. They would play in the relegation side, and 1 team goes down.
If you don't have your game in order, and you get into that relegation, the mind. It's always working. Mind, speed, intelligence, understanding the game. He excels.
I mentioned he won a Swedish League championship with HV 71. He was essentially a regular for that team. So if you can crack that lineup.
Well, and you skate and you handle the puck, and again, you talk to players that played against him in his peer group. They said he was impossible to track.
Now Dahlin threads the needle, finds Elias Andersson, not to be outdone. Rasmus Dahlin.
Whatever you can do, I can do too.
As Ransom draws the assist on the goal by Steen at 1:56, a 3-1 Swedish lead. Elias Pettersson works in, and the play called in Alberta in 2012. In the gold medal game, the shots at one point were 41-7 for the Swedes against the Russians. They finally won it on a goal by Mika Zibanejad in overtime. Had they lost that game, it would have been one of the great injustices.
Bounce, but when play is so clearly dominated.
Delaney tries to thread that needle again. Talbot knocks it down and sweeps it away. Now a shorthanded chance for Talbot. Delaney racing back, a 2-on-1 for the Finns, and Talbot rips that wide. Chipped up now for Elias Anderson. Anderson drops for Pettersson. Elias Pettersson for Delaney walking in. Delaney plays it across. And here's Westerlund with it. Back to Delaney, to Westerlund. Rinkwine goes to Pettersson, back to Delaney. Now Pettersson gathers it up, shoots it down to the corner for Anderson. Elias Anderson trying to work free, got bumped off the puck there by Cut Gonzalo. Picked up now by Pettersson. His pass intercepted and fired down the ice by Cut Gonzalo.
Three-time Stanley Cup champion.
So two great families in Detroit that have underwritten hockey programs. CompuWare in AAA by Carmanos, the Little Caesars organization started by Mike Ilitch and his family. There are others here. Detroit Honey Bake, among others. Bell Tire.
Yeah, and you know, again, we talked about how, you know, London has raised, you know, everybody else's game. I think it's the same thing with CompuWare and Little Caesars. Like, everybody else had to jump on board, but make no mistake about it, Mr. Ilitch and Mr. Carmanos were huge supporters. And when you see Mike Modano being drafted in the position of first overall, Hall of Famer, you see players like Al Iafredi, a good player, maybe the Carl Hagler type of book.
Now a rebound and a chance there for Joni Ikonen, turned away point blank by Philip Larson. Behind the place and pushing and shoving, breaking out, but play continues at center ice as Elias Anderson brings it ahead. Soderlund was into it there with Ikonen. Now Luukkonen back to pick it up. Luukkonen played in the Finnish Junior League last year for HPK Hämeenlinna. The issue for players in countries like Finland is the Junior League isn't very good. The men's league is, so you're kind of caught between. A lot of them play a little bit in the Junior League, a little bit in the Mestis, which is their second league, and then for one to under 18s. Rasmussen fires that wide. Then he would likely be loaned to a team in the Allsvenskan, the second league, and maybe play a little bit in the Swedish Hockey League. But now their Junior League is very good, and the results are evident. Nurmi in, shoots, short side, and Larson makes the save on him. Dahlin turns the puck over there. Now back at the point, the shot whistled wide by Marcus Niemelainen. Edmonton third-round pick. Niemelainen centers that for Ikonen. Montreal's second-round pick is Joni Ikonen. The 2017 draft. Montreal's got lots of prospects here as well. Elias Pettersson, great move there, but ranging back to take that away was Robin Salo.
And it was a nice move on Juuso Välimäki. Not an easy defenseman to break down.
Salo's been good here.
Robin Salo has been,
yeah.
right? I agree with you. He was a regular last year in the SM Liga. He's good. Artturi Lehkonen, who played for the Montreal Canadiens this year and had a real good rookie season for the Montreal Canadiens. He was the second-round pick out of Finland, but he needed time to mature. And that's exactly what Ikonen needs. He needs time to physically mature, to get a little bit older. But I think Ikonen, much like Lehkonen, is a real good prospect.
In comes Glenn Gustafsson now for the Swedes. He's taken down, centers it. It's got by everyone. Elias Pettersson now puts that wide. Here's Pettersson back on it. The teams are back to 5-on-5 now. And Gustafsson plays it across to Liljegren. His centering pass just missed by Elias Pettersson. Now walking in and firing is Jesper Kjellgren. That goes off a stick. Elias Anderson fires it in now.
Well, Christian Vesalainen, Winnipeg Jets first-round draft pick. I mean, he didn't play on multiple. Not only did he play on multiple teams, he played on teams in different countries. Right. He went back to Finland after being in Sweden, and he went back to Sweden.
Moilanen, and across the line for Finland. Trying to drop that back, picked up by Anderson. Elias Anderson away along with Elias Pettersson. Elias stepped in, but in comes Pettersson, brings it right off the post. Elias Pettersson on the feed from Elias Anderson. Central roles in that classic gold medal game. Now bouncing back side of the goal. Nerby, no, turned away by Larson. Nerby thought he'd scored, and Philip Larson came back and appeared to get a piece of that.
And the referee was in perfect position right behind the net to get a clear view of it, and if it did go across the goal line.
There is video review here. We saw an earlier goal reviewed. Elias one of the finished goals, throws up the center ice. Brandstrom knocks it down for Pettersson. Elias Pettersson flips that rink wide for Elias Anderson. In, shoots, and that's squeezed. Back to the goal line. Gonzalo trying to work that free, but it's picked out by Anderson. Gonzalo. Rink wide pass by Lavinen. For Gonzalo, the mask, I think, of Philip Larson. Here comes Dahlin. Rasmus Dahlin in across the line. Swedes are changing it. Stymied 1-on-4. The Finns take advantage now. Jaska works in and shoots. Kicked away by Larson.
That was an example of Dahlin having to understand that they would be in a line change and don't be messing around with it at that blue line.
There's a few Lilligren with it now. Salo. Makes the return pass. Robin Salo to Mäkinen. And Robin Salo back with it. Mäkinen. Välimäki lays it down to the Swedish zone. Canadian and American players are in the house. Some of them looking on, watching the Swedes play the Finns. Canada and the U.S. will go head-to-head at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on NHL Network. Taped late at 11 Eastern on TSN. Jesper Källgren. Rink wide for Anderson. Elias Anderson works in. Anderson drops. Pettersson works his way in. Pettersson back in front. Just missed Anderson. Now Anderson shoots from a sharp angle. And Gonzalo got a leg on that. That could be one for an outdoor game. Allows him to put Canada and the U.S. in the same group. Sodium and Brandstrom draw the assist on the goal by Steve, his fourth.
So based on last year's finish, the pool team should have been USA and Russia in the same pool, and Sweden and Canada, or Sweden and the USA in the same pool, right?
1 and 4 was the U.S. and Sweden, yeah. And then Canada and Russia were in the same pool.
So it looks like Russia and Finland switched.
Yeah, basically. Now, remember, Finland was 9th last year. So that's a...
Oh, yeah, so who was 5th then?
Checked.
I'm trying to think of...
The last 20 years more than the Swedes, who played big ice hockey all the time. Defensive, sitting back, trapping.
Really, the change was necessary because development was being hampered, especially at the lower ages.
And their league, the old Swedish Elite League, I mean, the scores were so low. Now a centering pass, knocked down. It's loose in front for a moment. They battle away for it. And finally moved ahead by Boqvist. Jesper Boqvist. Up for Elias Pettersson. Boqvist walks in, has time and shoots, and Luukkonen got the blocker on that. Elias Anderson back with it. Tie. Koivula pokes out ahead. Luukkonen right on the line. The Swedes are trying to call offside. Ikonen plays that down to Calvary. Back for Kukkinen, skips off his stick and out. And now, into the final minute of the third period. Peli Räsänen trying to center it, bouncing puck, moves to Ikonen, pokes it ahead, Ikonen in, shoots, scores! Hat-trick, Joni Ikonen! A power play goal! And the Finns tied at 5. Both these teams are winless so far in the competition. If 5 minutes of 3-on-3 doesn't settle it, it'll go on to a shootout. Lalo Koivula spins back for the Finns. Up ahead for Välimäki. Ikonen out there as well. Ikonen's got 3 for the Finns. Koivula throws that back to Ikonen. Lining in is Joni Ikonen. Works back in front, shoots, and the save is made by Larson. First good chance goes to the Finns. Ikonen back with it. Throws that rink wide for Koivula. Skips off his stick. Välimäki back with it. Off the bench comes Kukkonen. Jani Kukkonen. Of the London Knights of the OHL, drops it back for Koivula. Koivula trying to get off the ice on a change. Now does as Välimäki picks up the loose puck. Puts it ahead to Kukkonen. Kavini. Up ahead for Robin Salo. In, fires, and Larson makes the glove save.